during the away trip to Freiburg Stadium in round 24 of the Bundesliga. Coach Thomas Tuchel's team received many expectations for a spectacular revival to accelerate at the end of the season. Or at least, no matter how hard it is, a victory is enough to comfort the home team's fans. In the first leg at Allianz Arena in October, they crushed Freiburg with a score of 3-0. Even though they are facing difficulties in terms of strength between the two sides, Freiburg has never been able to match the giant Bavaria. But then, in today's rematch, look what they did. Right from the first minutes, the home team was the team that showed they were better in the game, thereby creating many dangerous shots, forcing Neuer to show off his talent to save. But then, no matter how hard he tried, Neuer could not prevent the Freiburg players from scoring the opening goal right in the 12th minute of the match, stemming from a series of somewhat clumsy high-ball disputes. The ball reached C. Gunter's feet, and the defender launched a perfect shot at the edge of the penalty area, not giving Neuer any chance to block. After receiving a bucket of cold water, Coach Thomas Tuchel's army had to rush forward to reclaim the match, but the more they tried, the more obvious their inability to attack became. Even on the contrary, the home team's defensive counter-attacking style always puts Neuer's goal on alert. It wasn't until the 35th minute that Bayern was able to level the score thanks to the brilliance of Mathys Tel, who was a rare starter in place of the injured Sane. That was the situation in which the young player drew a wonderful curve under the Europa Park Stadium sky, thereby saving Bayern from a bad half and rekindling the opportunity to win all 3 points before the break. In the second half, Bayern showed signs of improvement. They appeared dominant in terms of position, but in general, the way they performed on the field still gave the feeling that Bayern was still out of place with a lifeless style of play. At minute 75, what fans were waiting for came. Bayern finally took the lead, but this was also a goal with a personal touch. Jamal Musiala was the one who had a solo performance with a series of skillful moves in the opponent's penalty area. Amidst the siege of redshirt players, the young German player was still able to find space to launch a shot. It's true that it hasn't left many highlights in terms of gameplay, but Bayern fans are still especially happy because right now, what they need most is just points. But then, while many people were thinking about 3 points before leaving, in the 87th minute, Lucas Höhler appeared and created a beautiful volley with his left foot, sending the ball into the far corner with a glance from Manuel Neuer and his teammates. The final period of time was not enough for Thomas Tuchel and his team to do anything more, and had to accept leaving Europa Park Stadium with only one draw. It is not too difficult to understand the disappointment of the players and fans here. After being equalized, midfielder Kim Min-jae waved his arms and screamed. Goretzka also knelt down and punched the ground to express his anger and helplessness. Most of them understand that dropping 2 points in Freiburg only makes the dream of defending the throne even more distant. This is the third time in the last 4 rounds that Bayern cannot find victory. After losing to direct competitor Bayer Leverkusen, Thomas Tuchel and his team continued to become victims of the earthquake that Bochum created in mid-February. Last weekend it seemed like things had improved when Harry Kane shined, bringing home a difficult victory over RB Leipzig. But the worst thing is that it would have been better for Bayern Munich not to give hope to the fans, only to have it happen again, fail like this. In the victory against the bottom group of the rankings, Cologne, Xabi and his students will continue to widen the gap with Bayern to 10 points, while the Bundesliga only has 10 rounds left. Never before has the prospect of an empty season appeared so clearly before their eyes like this. Not only in terms of results, but most importantly, Bayern Munich performed a very unconvincing style of play. Except for Mathys Tel's moment of genius in the first half, what they left behind was an attack without ideas and a defense that was vulnerable. There were times when the difficulty in reaching the opponent was so great that it forced them to use long passes straight to Freiburg's penalty area. But it seems like its effectiveness was just zero. The second half wasn't much better. Coach Tuchel tried to change by replacing both fullbacks Joshua Kimmich and Guerrero. But that still doesn't change their playing style. There is still a lack of team cohesion, lack of competitive motivation, and clear tactical direction. Possessing a superior possession of the ball up to 62%, but considering the overall number of opportunities created, they are not much better than the home team, so being punished is already an expected result. Notice in advance. Surely the person who will suffer the most attacks from public opinion after the forgettable result will still be Thomas Tuchel. Speaking after the match, he said, "We played well in the second half and took the initiative, but could not decide the match ourselves. In the end, we couldn't win because of a lucky goal from a set piece by our opponent. Something we couldn't avoid. It's clear that all the players need to play with a different level of determination. But we only started doing that after losing one goal. It was somewhat chaotic. It's not a matter of will. We played recklessly in the first half, but just one good half is not enough if we want to win today." There is no need to mention too much. Most people can understand the difficulties surrounding Thomas Tuchel. Even he didn't understand what was happening to his students, who had a lot of class. Why did things take such a turn for the worse? When asked, "What is the team missing?" the German coach responded with an uncertain attitude. "What should I say now? I don't think it's a matter of spirit. I could see the team's effort in the first half, but there was a lack of uniformity in the positions. We attacked like we were in the 85th minute and were 1-0 down. I don't think it's due to lack of effort." Going back to the time before the 2023-2024 season had not yet started, it was easy to see an exciting frame at Allianz Arena. Because last summer, they just got the signature of Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world, filling the memory of Lewandowski. Many people even joked with each other, if Tottenham doesn't know how to bring titles to Kane, then let them, who have nothing but a traditional room full of cups, do it. But look what's happening right now. No one can laugh anymore. It's an amazing decline. Even factors that were once very important like Leon or Kimmich left behind huge disappointments. The recent draw is like a signal of surrender for Bayern Munich in the race for the Bundesliga championship. It seems that coach Thomas Tuchel has officially given up and ceded the throne that they have reigned over for the past decade to more worthy people. Looking further ahead is the rematch with Lazio in the 1/8 round of the C1 Cup. In the first turn, Bayern lost by a minimal score, although it was possible to turn the situation around at home. But the question is how Thomas Tuchel and his students will be able to stand up after today's bad results. Or will dramas once again erupt to push them to a titleless season? Perhaps it has been a long time since fans saw a disappointing image of Bayern, along with the gloomy atmosphere that pervades the place. It's true that every dynasty must decline at some point, but it's rare for Bayern to play like they want to give the trophy to their opponents.